Welcome back to my wonderful journey where we'll be studying once and for all is alias really the best show of all time, which, well, shall we say, we'll be doing this by me watching the show and analyzing and taking rigorous notes. On top of that, we'll be analyzing the deep themes of each episode. Themes like, is Dixon trying to die? Is this an almost first experience with the retcon? What are we going to learn about Sydney's involvement with Weapon X and when she got infused with adamantium so she can have an unbreakable spine? Let's just jump into it. Thank goodness for adamantium spines, because oh my goodness, I couldn't handle the last time that we did this. I thought Sydney maybe actually really died. And all honesty, it's been a long time since I've recorded one of these, because I, well, shall we say, was having very small symptoms of heart attacks, and I had anywhere from 6 to 11 very baby-sized heart attacks because of I couldn't handle Sydney getting hurt one more time. I really couldn't handle it. But thank goodness, my superstar Sydney Bristow is okay. But oh my goodness, Dixon was shot and he's not okay. But thank goodness we have a flashback to a very small retcon where Sydney was given a satellite phone from the CIA so that she can call and make sure that an ambulance gets there and saves Dixon. But Dixon repeats her special spy call name or something. Is Dixon going to know that she's for the CIA now? But we get back and Sydney is telling Vaughn about all the things that she had to do and how she had to lie to Weasel, and how she had to lie to Dixon's wife, and how she had to just be in a very, just what a bummer. I can't believe she did all that lying, and she's so very sad and scared about all of this stuff, and she doesn't want Dixon to be hurt, but she also doesn't want her cover at the CIA to be blown. What's she gonna do? Dryer tells Weasel that Sydney is definitely the mole and she needs to be kicked out of SC6, and Weasel doesn't want to do this because he likes Sydney, but Dryer says it's for sure her test was too perfect. You can't have her here. And Weasel kind of bucks him on this a little bit. Dryer's voice is, shall we say, a lot. We then cut to Sydney having a quick hangout session with all of her friends just so they can do a quick windmill dunk on Rocket, and her and Monica and Phoebe are like, suck it, idiot nerd. We then get a quick briefing about the person who stole the nuke that Sydney then had to go steal the nuke from, I believe, in episode whatever. And then we watch some people steal a thing, and we learn that SC6 is trying to track him down, and they need his money to do that. So they watch a bank robbery, and now they are going to send Sydney in with a new partner, not Dixon, because Dixon's still very badly injured, and we don't even know if he's going to be okay or not, and Sydney's still pretty freaking torn up about that. So they're going to go in, and they're going to try to track his money. She goes in, she gets her counter operation from Michael Vaughn. You guys guessed it, Michael, the hottie Vaughn, is giving her counter mission, and she goes and she says, hey Vaughn, I need a counter mission. He says, hey, I'm going to give you this because you're just going to say the call numbers out loud for no reason, because you're also taking them to give to SC6, and then you're going to do a special secret dead drop with them. So she takes the things, and she goes on the mission. But just before she goes on the mission, Rocky Raccoon, he goes and he takes that special pendant that he found in the car of the dead girl, who I don't remember the name of, and he gives it to a guy who's testing with it, and they find out that it's a bug, and it's still on? Who's listening to him? Sydney then has a quick side before she has to go and steal all this information for the nuke boy. Hey, Fran, you want to go dress shopping? I freaking love to go dress shopping with you, girl. What's up? And then they high five about it. And it's one of the cutest moments I've ever seen in any fiction ever. Weasel's a quick hangout session with Sydney, and he says, hey, just so you know, I'm a giant creepo, and I think of you as a daughter. And it's not necessarily that he's saying I think of you as a daughter is the creepiest thing. It's just the delivery of everything that he says and does and how he does it, and all of the things about it that are really weird and awkward and bad and make me hate it. So it's just that. Sydney then leaves for the mission, and while Sydney leaves, Dryer comes and meets with Weasel again and says, hey, I need you to kill Sydney. And Weasel says, I don't want to do that. And Dryer says, if you don't kill Sydney, I'm going to go tattle on you because I'm a dirty baby poopy butt. So Weasel sends a very special message to Server 5, whatever that means, about how we need to kill Sydney when she's doing her dead drop from her last thing. Sydney gets to where she's going, she runs into the bank, and she talks to all the people, and it's literally as simple as them walking her down there, and then she takes a special spray to do a quick trick butt, not a kick butt. She doesn't kick anybody's butt. This whole episode, the biggest problem I have with this whole episode is the fact that I haven't seen Sydney Bristow kick a butt, and it's been so long since I watched the show because of the emotional roller coaster that just put me on, that does Sydney even know how to kick a butt anymore? I don't really know! I have a quick apology for how worked up I just gotten about my lack of seeing Sydney kick a butt. It's really not my place to take all my frustrations that I've been having with this show and the emotional roller coaster's been sitting on with you guys. I need to talk directly to Daddy Warbucks about it, because if you think about it, he's kind of like everybody's dad. After Sydney sprays the guy and he dies or gets knocked out, we don't really know. It's never super explained what that stuff is. She then uses a special phone thing that We Are Marshall gave her, and she uses it to get into the safety deposit box, and she reads all the tracking numbers out loud so that Heidi Boy Vaughn can hear it. But while Heidi Boy Vaughn's receiving all the tracking numbers, they, from the worm of another episode of you know the episodes by this point. So they use for the episode where they put the worm computer program into the SD6 stuff, they find that, oh no, they're going to try to kill Sydney. And Vaughn gets a whole team ready to take Sydney out so that, not take Sydney out, because that means kill her. That's what they think Weasel's trying to do. But Daddy, Warbucks, says, no, he's not trying to do that. He thinks that if she uses a mole, you guys will have the worm, and then the only people who are going to see this is you, and then they'll know that Sydney's the mole because she would have gotten extracted, and she knows. Vaughn says, I'm still going to use this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have a team ready to extract her at the dead drop. And Daddy Warbucks is like, no. And Vaughn goes, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And he goes, no. And he's like, hey, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, no. And he's like, hey, you're not my freaking dad. You're Sydney's dad. I'm gonna do what I want. And then Daddy Warbucks goes, zip, flop. Mine's way freaking bigger. My Weewo's huge compared to your little baby Weewo. And no! It's a real nail biter as we watch Sydney take the information and do the dead drop because there's a guy who might be trying to kill her. I don't really know what's going to happen. I get so spooked about it. I almost peed a little bit. I turned this episode off roughly in the time span of the 40 seconds of this quick scene 62 times. I couldn't really handle it. I almost thought I had another very small heart attack, but it's okay. Sydney was fine, and Daddy Warbucks is right. It was a trick by Weasel. Rock is really spooked out of his mind because he's sitting on the pot, and he's talking to the bug, and he's pleading with it, and while he's sitting on the pot, it might be because he's on the pot, because he's talking to a freaking flower. And he's pleading with it, and when all of a sudden he says, just let me know if you're on or who's listening or whatever, and his phone rings, and he goes, whoa! He gets so freaking spooked from the thing that happened, and it's just friend wanting to say, hey, Cindy freaking stood me up on our cool hangout sesh to go on the dress shopping, so you wanna come hang out with me? Since we're always so nice to you and I'm always such a good friend. And he goes, I guess. I love when everybody's mean to me all the time. Since Fight Now and they have another very, very creepy, awkward sesh where Weasel says how proud of her that he very is. Rocket gets actually communicated by the real people who have been doing the thing and he's been talking to on the other side of the bug, and they say, hey, Rocket, we need you to know that you're in. And Rocket's like, what are you talking about? He's like, just say the words you're in. He goes, I'm in. And who really knows what's going to happen with that? I'm still pretty confused as to who's talking, because I could have sworn Daddy Warbucks was the person who did it. But actually, at this point, I don't really know anything about this show. Weasel explains the fact that they now know that Sydney's not the mole to Dryer because of all the things that happened, and Dryer's like, but she would have still gotten away, and you have this weird infatuation with Sydney Bristow. He also says, I noticed the fact that there were 2 transmissions that came out of the bank, and I now know that Sydney's actually a double agent. She's been giving information to other people. You need to do something about this Weasel. Sydney's laid at home in the tub where Danny died because she's just kind of a weird dirty bird like that when Fran walks in, and then Sydney goes, get the frick out of here, I'm super naked, what the heck are you doing? Leave, you pervert. That actually doesn't happen because I don't understand the social dynamic of these friends. They just have a regular conversation while she's super naked in the tub, and it's really confusing and awkward, and I don't understand. Just as a quick shout out, if you're a friend of Marcus's, and I'm super naked, don't talk to me. Just period. Don't. Ever at all, even a little bit. Because what the heck's wrong with you, you pervert? Cindy gets a call, so she runs to see if Dixon is or isn't okay. And while she's talking to him, she also needs to figure out if they remember the call sign or anything like that. And he doesn't remember anything, and Cindy's in the clear because Dixon is okay now. He's okay now. And while she's leaving, she runs downstairs, and then she gets hit by a freaking car! I can't believe John Wick stole yet another thing from this very good franchise because they think that Keanu Reeves is somehow as good as Jennifer Gardner is, when I don't even understand why they could even think that. Jennifer Gardner is clearly the better actress and stunt person and just all-around fighter, but she gets hit by this car and people they shoot the injection and do her thing. Is Sydney gonna be freaking okay? I don't even know. Is Sydney okay? Well, guys, we're gonna have to freaking figure out next time.